person calls me, and she clearly doesn't like her job. So I get her, I don't know how, but people will tell me anything, you know. She gives me the direct line to the president of the bank.
Sweet.
So every day for 6 months I called his office. And I would call it, that was during the days of payphones. So I would call it from a different phone because he could recognize the number coming in. So I called from payphone here, payphone there, and every day I said, I'm allowed 1 phone call a day. You're allowed 1 phone call to collect. I'm allowed 1 phone call to get you to fix this. So every day for 6 months I drove around town and called from random payphones so they wouldn't know it was me until I got a letter in the mail telling me that they had fixed it.
Outstanding. Perseverance pays off.
Yeah, you have to be kind of petty and mean, but it works.
You know, the real shame of it is sometimes you have to take it to that level.
Yeah.
I've taken it close to that level myself on other occasions as well, and it's a real shame that you actually have to do that to get something done properly.
Well, just do your jobs. You know, and that's, I'm kind of mean to Americans now who are lazy and don't want to do their jobs. You know, you get these customer service people who actually are still here in America, and it's like, look, if you want to keep the jobs here in America, do your job.
Well,
don't be lazy.
I have to tell you, I hate to say it, but a lot of times when they're being difficult with you, as far as banks and such are concerned, they actually are doing exactly their job. They're
Right,
doing
and that's
what
when I
they're
ask to
told
take
do.
it to the next level. If you
Right.
can't help me, then let's just take it to the next level.
Yeah, their job is to stall you, to obfuscate, to change,
Right.
to change things, to try, you know, to get anything else other than what you need done.
Which is outrageous.
Oh, and there should be some consideration if they're in the military. These people who are in the military who have a military ID card, they have some kind of verification that they're on active duty, they're serving there. They don't have all the resources. And a lot of things that people don't understand is most of these men and women that are in the military are broke.
Mm-hmm.
They are literally living from paycheck to paycheck.
That's most of America now, too.
They are broke. If you're an E5 and below, I mean, you're buying your groceries at the commissary, your food at the PX. I mean, everything that you're doing is on base, and then you're eating in the chow line as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're bringing as much of that stuff from the chow line back home as possible for them. And why make it so difficult on these people? Why can't we at least be considerate? You know, if you want to give somebody a hard time, there's enough middle management people out there, enough corporate execs out there, there's enough people out there to harass, besides the military. The military is such a small population of people out there, but yet it seems like they get the shaft all the time.
513-749-1444. I think they get the shaft because I think the civilian world doesn't understand. If you are not a part of a military family, you can't really comprehend, especially when your husband's coming home every night, and you can't really comprehend what that's like. You know, and I think that's why military wives are such a tight group, and why we can walk into a situation and, you know, we might be in a catty situation like women are sometimes, where you hate all the women there, but you will still have that kindredship with that other military wife.
When you were talking about that they don't understand and they can't understand, that brings me back to something that I've said before, Carrie, and it's like that everybody that's ever been in the military before is actually very, very happy that they can't understand, because that means we did our job. You know, if we hadn't have done our job, if we would have failed with whatever it is we were doing at the time, they very well could understand what actual hardship is like. They could very well understand what it's like to be in a war zone, to be in a
Right.
combat situation, because
It
that's...
would be right here at their door.
Yeah, it would be at their door. It very much would be at their door. And it's something that I feel rather proud of, the fact that somebody can complain about. You know, you've heard me talk about the spiral sliced ham, right? That somebody was complaining about that. I am so happy that she was able to complain about the spiral sliced ham and not have any idea what hunger is.
Right.
Or deprivation, or serious threat to their lives and existence.
If that's your only complaint in life, you're doing pretty good.
Exactly.
You're doing so good.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
And I'm so happy that they don't understand that they're doing so good with that, because if they did understand, that would mean they may have seen it before already. And I don't want that, and I'm so so pleased that what we've done to be able to prevent them from knowing that. They've got such a good life. And I think that everybody in this country has such a good life because of a lot of the sacrifices that the military has done. And even whether you served in peacetime or wartime, even if you've never been in a combat situation, but you were in the military and you were ready to go, you did your bit. You were the wall. You held them off. And a lot of people think that say, I hear people say, well, what held what off? There's nobody one. It's like, yes, they are.
Yes.
They want
Big
to
time.
take you down. If you
And
don't
they will
think,
in a heartbeat.
yeah, do not think that there's people out there that don't want to kill you just because you're an American.
Well, look at the September 11th attacks. That should have been a wake-up call for the Americans who forgot Pearl Harbor.
Right.
You know, did you forget Pearl Harbor, which was way more devastating than what happened on September 11th? You know, in terms of loss of life, the amount of fighting that took place, that kind of thing. But people forget. We have a short memory span here in the United States.
That we do. That we do. But once again, it's that same thing that I was talking about earlier, just now talking about. I'm so glad that Americans can afford to have a short memory. I'm so glad that Americans have the right to be stupid. You know?
You know, I think the downfall of that, Joe, is that you repeat history if you forget it.
It's going to be repeated.
And it happens over and over and over again.
It is going to be repeated, and as long as people in the military are doing their jobs properly and doing them right and keeping the wolf from the door, so to speak, they're going to repeat it again and again anyway. It's going to happen. And the repeating of history because you failed to learn from it is one of the downfalls, one of the downsides of having such a professional group of soldiers out there, having such a good protection, because we don't have that feeling of tyranny and oppression anymore that we're worried that could return at any moment. To us, to the United States, could you imagine an American actually feeling that we could be under a real tyranny?
Well, I mean, I think that there are some Americans that are questioning the direction this country's heading right now.
Yeah, but the beauty of it is they can. If this were a real...
They can for now.
Yeah, they can for now. And trust me, there's plenty of people that are there to ensure that they'll be able to do so in the future as well. And those are the soldiers, those are the Marines, those are the sailors, those are the airmen, those are the people of the Coast Guard, those are the people of our military that are standing in between the wolf and our door.
Yeah, but the problem is, well, I don't want to get into that, because some people see the president as the wolf and he's supposed to be the commander-in-chief, and we're even seeing, you know, a breakdown in the military ranks now about whether there are people who believe they should be following him. I mean, we've got...
That's always going to happen. That is always going to happen. It really will.
513-749-1444 if you want to join the conversation. And we